This is Jerod Lakefield, a novel by Don Fensler, Part 7. Third game, oh fuck. St. Cloud's third game was against a team you may have fucking heard of. Fucking Duke, fucking Blue Devil University. What the fuck, you say? I don't fucking blame you. They stuck us in their schedule the way all the fucking superpowers do to pad their record, and we allowed our wimpy fucking carcasses to be stuck in their schedule in order to pad our school's bank account. The last 4 seasons we had lost to Duke, who loves us deeply, 81-35, 96-47, 73-29, and 91-35. It goes without saying the scores could have been far fucking worse. The game was a joke, and we were a fucking laughingstock par excellence. But our college president insists we play because it helped the school to have all that money. But how much is it fucking worth to find out you're a fucking rinky-dink nobody going nowhere college in the middle of nowhere, a school of nobodies? We were being fucking forced with the school's bank account being pointed straight at our dainty little heads to look at ourselves in the mirror and take stock. It wasn't fair. Fucking Duke Blue Devil fucking University. You gotta be kidding me. What price can you put on our fucking self-esteem? Even the Lord God of the Old and New Testament said we were human beings who deserve to be treated fucking nice. What price is our self-esteem? There is a price. $87,000 fucking dollars. That's how much St. Cloud gets paid to play this game. The going price for a fucking humiliation at Duke was exactly $87,000 fucking dollars. Wonderful. Let the college president play them, the fucking asshole. I told Jerod Lakefield in my most fatherly Moses with the 10 Commandments-like voice to not take the game too seriously. Maybe Jerod Lakefield was a Duke Blue Devil level player, but probably not, and for fucking sure the rest of us were as close to Duke level as I am to being a Nobel Prize winner in nuclear physics. And basketball was not a fucking game like soccer, baseball, where a shitty team could hold it close. More than almost any other sport with basketball, your wiener shrinking incompetence and the sheer fucking skill of your opponent would show up in the fucking score big time, in neon lights and naked dancing girls all around it, with the whole world watching. To be concrete about it, Jerry would have trouble scoring because we would have trouble getting him the ball, since they were a fucking holy grail superpower and most certainly fucking probably knew about his 35 points in the first game and 27 in the second. They would simply double team, triple team, quadruple team, and maybe sometimes even quintuple team and quintuple and octagonal team him and beat us fucking 100-0. If we had a good night. The massacre cometh. So the game starts and they score 6 quick points. Jerod Lakefield is playing his disappearing game on offense. What the fuck? Here we go fucking again. He was just floating around in the outside doing nothing, the fucking cracker asshole. I was calm before the game, but now I was fucking livid. Sure, we were going to get our asses handed to us on a fucking pink ribbon knapsack, but at least let's put up a fucking fight. I don't think he had even touched the ball in the first 5 minutes of the game. It was like he was a fucking spectator drinking daiquiris in the luxury boxes of Duke's world-famous Cameroon Stadium. My worries about him being double-teamed, etc. were way off. He was being fucking ignored. And we were being fucking ignored and thrashed like a bean salad to the tune of 14-0. And an odd fact at this point, I must applaud him in one area. His fucking defense was stellar. It was bizarre in such a blowout. Jerod Lakefield's defense was fucking magnificent. He was covering their shooting guard, and that guy had no points. Everyone else was fucking scoring at will, but this point guard was dead fucking meat, totally stymied. He was like a deer in the headlights. He already had this deer in the headlights look about him. His teammates and even the coach were even started giving him a hard time. He kept losing the ball or not being close to the ball, which is a fucking shame for a point guard, especially when you're the point guard for Duke. But the rest of the Blue Devils were having the damnedest times of their lives. A fucking Las Vegas sex orgy, scoring any time they damn fucking pleased. It was pathetic. I had a feeling the Duke coach, the world-famous Duke coach, told them at the 5-minute mark, at least 3 passes before shooting. Like a mercy rule, like we were a fucking 5th grade Pee Wee League game team with timeouts for a diaper change. It was humiliating. Totally fucking humiliating. We were humiliated every year, but for some reason this seemed worse. I think it was because Jerod Lakefield was in the game. We looked to Jerod Lakefield to give us some respectability, but to no avail. He was allergic to the ball, fucking allergic to playing offense for us for some reason in this game. It was bizarre. All it seemed he wanted to do was make life fucking miserable for their point guard. Big fucking deal. The score was 22-4. Our center managed to get 2 of our wild missed shots off the backboard and put it in. That was the only 4 fucking points we had. So far, Jerod Lakefield was playing your basic Iraqi missing in action soldier routine. He totally stayed disappeared on offense. He didn't seem to care. It was truly like he didn't give a fuck. He even had this fucking laid back, satisfied look on his face. Like, I am playing Duke. What an honor. We are getting our ass kicked, but what a fucking honor. I hated Jerod Lakefield again. I really hated him. I wanted to grab him and fucking shake him and say, give us a fucking brief moment of competence, please. Take some fucking shots. Miss them if you want, but fucking take some shots. But it was obvious the legendary status of the Blue Devils had gotten to Jerod Lakefield, even worse than it had gotten to the rest of us. It finally dawned on us coaches to fucking call a timeout. We were in a daze, behind 22-4. We obviously should have called a timeout sooner, but somehow what was happening on the court had mesmerized us, like fucking watching a lion devour a wild pig. We were being just as fucking hopeless and helpless as our players. End of part 7.